Hi, this is Senator Justin Reedy coming to you from Annapolis. Again, we've reached the point of session where we are spending a lot of hours, not just on the Senate floor, but also primarily spending a long time in our committees every day. Last week, the Senate committee that I sit on, Judicial Proceedings, had hearings and voting sessions that went till midnight, 2 straight nights, and very late the other day that I was there. We're looking at a number of very controversial issues that we're going to be having to vote on and to make decisions about. There's been a lot of problems with the medical marijuana program that Maryland has started, regulatory program. So there were a lot of bills about dealing with problems with that, mostly contractual arguments, not so much about the actual use of it, but contractual issues. There also was legislation presented to legalize marijuana for recreational use. I don't support doing that. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on it. Also, we had legislation about making it a criminal penalty to have a gun on a college campus, even if you legally own the firearm, which I think is a really, really bad bill. Most campuses don't allow guns already in their rules and regulations. This would actually put it on somebody's criminal record. So we're going to fight that very hard because that's something that is a big overreach by sort of liberal interests that don't support Second Amendment rights. Also last week had a hearing on my bill that is seeking to be sure that when someone is rejected for jury duty because they are not a U.S. citizen, that the jury duty pool is selected from the voter rolls. So we're trying to be sure that we mandate that the courts send those names to the State Board of Elections, and that the State Board of Elections remove those names from the voter rolls, because we don't want people to be registered that should not be registered to vote, even if it's by accident, even if they accidentally registered just by checking off a box with motor voter. We still want to be sure those names are not on the voter rolls because they're not U.S. citizens. We're also going to be spending a lot of time. We'd spent a lot of time last week, and this week again we're continuing the fight on legislation that's trying to mandate the BAT septic systems, and I told you about that last week. We actually had a vote on the floor, a preliminary vote, to try to kill this bill before it gets to a final vote. I know it's a little complicated, but it's called a second reader vote, and we actually voted it down by a couple of votes. But then someone that voted with us asked to have the motion reconsidered, which is something that you are allowed to do. So we now are considering, we may try to vote it down again, or we're going to be considering amendments again all during this week. So it's been dragged out a little bit, which I think is good, because we may be able to either amend it and defang the bill a little bit, or I don't support it no matter what we do to it, but we might be able to defang it and water it down a little bit, or we may be able to still defeat it, and we're going to work on that because it's not something that's good for folks outside of the critical areas. We don't need to be mandating these expensive septic systems outside of the critical areas of our state near water sources. So I look forward to trying to update you again. I think you can tell by how long I've talked on this video that we have a lot going on. I look forward to hearing your thoughts and your concerns. Please feel free to contact me at the information provided, and I look forward to updating you next week.